Hey Animal Crossers, it's me Tiger, and I just built the cutest entrance I've ever made in Animal Crossing for my new dollhouse themed island. I'm not even joking, this is the best entrance I've ever made. I'm gonna walk you through the entire build process, and this is just the beginning. I'll be sharing every build on Mini Island as it comes together, so if you love Animal Crossing and you want to see how this island turns out, make sure you're subscribed. This is the first build on the island, so if you're here now, you can say that you've been here since the beginning, which is really cool. But before we get into building this gorgeous entrance, I need to tell you something. One of my favorite cozy games is on sale right now. Thank you to Gameloft for sponsoring this video. Disney Dreamlight Valley is one of my go-to cozy games because there's so much freedom in how you play. You can spend your time cleaning up and decorating your village. The decorating mode is so good. Or you can customize your character, go fishing, complete your collections, take on quests, or even build friendships with some of your favorite Disney and Pixar characters. No 2 days in the valley ever feel the same because there's so much to do. Right now, Disney Dreamlight Valley is having a limited time sale on most digital storefronts. Also, the game is now optimized for Switch 2. New updates continue to arrive every few months, adding new characters, biomes, quests, and features, so the game keeps growing over time. There's always something new to unlock, discover, or work toward, which keeps the valley feeling fresh and fun every time I play. The game also has cross-platform play with cloud saves, so I can play on my Switch 2 or my PC and pick up right where I left off. Join me and play Disney Dreamlight Valley through the link in the description and use my redeem code in-game to receive a welcome gift. Thank you again to Gameloft for sponsoring this video. Quick interruption. I just finished editing this video and I was re-watching it to make sure that it was good enough to post, and I realized that some of you might have missed the island theme reveal because it was at the end of my last video, which a lot of you didn't see. I also posted it as a short form video on TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels, but a lot of you probably don't watch those either. So I just wanted to say, before we get into this, if you missed it in my intro, this is a dollhouse themed island. And if you want to hear more about the theme and my inspirations, then go watch my short video because I dive into it a little bit more. Okay, anyway, sorry for the interruption. Bye! Now, before we get into designing this amazingly cute island entrance, I need to clean up because the last time that I was on this island was during my live stream when we went custom design shopping together for all the design codes I'll be using on this island. Be sure to check out the Pinterest board that I made for this island. I'll link it down in the description. It has all of the design codes that I downloaded and a bunch more that fit the same dollhouse vibes. Anyways, as you can see, I was testing out all of the design codes to see how they looked all together, so I need to clean this up. There's also this little pond at my entrance and some flowers that I planted to get to 3 stars, so all of that has got to go too. It took a little while to clean all that up, but I got it done, and now we have a blank slate to start our island entrance. By the way, if you're curious, this is what my island's map looks like. I love the look of a fresh Animal Crossing island. It just looks so cool, and there's so much potential. I can't wait to complete the entire island, and then I can do a before and after of the maps. But I just wanted to show you the before right now so that you can get a good look at it before we transform it into the cutest dollhouse themed island. If you haven't been keeping up with this series so far, this is the 3rd episode, although you do not have to watch the first 2 to be watching this one. This is really like the first episode. I haven't done any designing or building on the island yet. The first 2 parts were just like starting the island and then getting it to 3 stars. So if you're interested in seeing the process of getting to 3 stars so that you can start decorating really fast, I made a whole video about that, and it's kind of like a guide. Anyways, those were technically the first 2 episodes of the Mini Island design series, but this is the real first episode, okay? Because today we're actually designing the entrance. As I've said plenty of times, I wanted this entrance to kind of be like a very grand, bustling entrance, like you walk right into the little dollhouse city. Because although my island is dollhouse inspired, I don't want the island itself to literally be a dollhouse. I just wanted to have the aesthetic of a dollhouse. The idea is that all of my villagers will be the dolls that live in this like doll city, and their homes are their own little dollhouses. I really love like delicate pink bows and lace and florals and kind of like a gardeny cottagecore vibe as well. I thought that I would take my street path and make this giant square and then build a plaza in the middle, like open grass part, and then you could like walk around the road and there could be maybe some villager houses, maybe some mannequins that look like dolls, and kind of have this little like staged plaza entrance. So I laid out my entire pathway like in this square, and I hated it. I don't know why I hated it. I think mostly because the lines like in the street, they were not lining up very well with each other. I just was not feeling this, so I took it all down. But it's okay because what I ended up building going after that was magnificent. Once I had taken down the entire street that I spent way too long laying down in the first place, I was feeling a little bit defeated about like what to do for this entrance. I wanted to start with this like street pathway, but I also didn't want to make it feel too much like a city. Like, yes, this is a doll city, and yes, it is like a town, and I want to have roads and cars, but I don't want it to be like a full-on like city core island. I still want it to feel very naturey and lush and pretty. I just didn't know how I was going to combine those two ideas. So I went to Pinterest, of course, as one does when they are feeling lost and needing inspiration for Animal Crossing builds. And I stumbled upon this beautiful image. And this is the main inspiration for this entrance. I absolutely love the cherry blossom season, the bridge, the grandness of this person's entrance. I also love the little heart pond waterfall thing that they made. Super cute. So I kind of wanted to copy this layout a little bit and then make it my own, because this was a little bit too castle-y and elegant for me. I wanted to bring in the dollhouse vibes, and yeah. So I got started on kind of replicating this main idea with the bridge and the two inclines going up onto a cliff. First, I built a little pond for my bridge to go over. Then I added some of the street pathway just to map out where the bridge would be going across. I did leave a little bit of space between this and my entrance. I didn't want you to walk directly into the bridge. I mean, that would be kind of awkward, but it wouldn't really make sense for you to walk right into the road, because then the bridge couldn't be centered with like the little airport entrance. So I left a little grass patch, and then we can make that kind of lead into the actual road and bridge. You'll see later. I decided to use the Zen bridge, even though I really wish that there was a white bridge in the game. I feel like it would match so much better, or maybe a pink bridge even, but the Zen bridge is gonna have to do. It's really pretty, and I really like the kind of like archway that it makes. It looks really grand, and it's gonna be the perfect centerpiece for this entrance. Once I had that bridge placed down, I instantly time traveled so that we could see what it looked like, and so that I could fix up my pathways, because I just kind of laid them out there, and once I placed the bridge, I realized that they needed to be moved a little bit, and more importantly, I realized that my road needed to be 4 wide in order to really line up with the bridge, meaning that I wouldn't be able to add the center lines into the road because there's 2 center pieces. So if I added one, it would be like off-centered, if that makes sense. And there was no way I was gonna make this thing 5 wide and then have the line in the middle of that, because then my road path would just be way too wide, and again, it wouldn't really line up well with the bridge. So yeah, I am just doing my street with no lines in the middle, and I think that it actually looks pretty cute this way. Anyways, I fixed up my street with my bridge so that it lined up really nicely, and then I wanted to bring in the inclines, because yes, we're gonna have double inclines going up onto a cliff just like our inspo photo. I found out that the incline comes off the cliff about 3 spaces, so I had to move back my original cliff that I had laid out, and I just went ahead and added a row of cliff that was the same length as my road. This was looking cute so far. I liked the distance between the cliff and the bridge and the entrance, so I went ahead and added my first incline to this build. I put it 2 spaces away from the river just so that we had room between the incline and the river to add some decorations, and I also expanded on our cliff a little bit, taking it further back. Once that was done, I paid off the first incline, and then I time traveled so that it would be constructed, and I went ahead and placed the second incline on the other side in the exact same spot, 2 spaces away from the river. I immediately time traveled so that I could see what it would look like, and it looked so good, but also Doc had a thought bubble and wanted to move away from the island. He's not going to be a permanent resident on this island, so I was very happy to let him go, and I thought, you know what, we'll go get a villager from a treasure island that I actually want at some point, but I did end up forgetting about that. So the plot just autofilled to Benedict the chicken, who is also not going to be a permanent resident on this island, but I love Benedict. He was on my very first New Horizons island, so he's a very nostalgic friend of mine. I don't remember when, but at some point I did add a waterfall to the cliff coming down into the river. Very cute stuff. I did not do a heart-shaped pond though, like the original builder of the inspo pic, but I was not trying to go for that vibe because I actually wanted another incline to go up onto another level of cliffs, and I wanted that incline to be centered with the river and this little waterfall. So I wanted my little pond up here to be smaller and not like a giant heart-shaped thing. Plus, I wasn't trying to copy that person's entrance like entirely, okay? I was just taking some soft inspiration. Anyway, I expanded on my initial actual cliff to make it way larger because we're gonna need a lot of room up here to have another incline and another set of cliffs. And also at this point, I was planning on bringing my house to be on top of all of those cliffs. I'm gonna customize my house to look like a dollhouse, and I thought that it would just be like this giant dollhouse at the entrance when you walk in. It would be perfect for a dollhouse island, and it would be just beautiful and grand and amazing. Kind of like the castle from the inspo pic, but instead of a castle, we have a giant dollhouse. Yeah, it was gonna be so cute. It did not end up working out that way, so you'll have to see what I did instead. But anyways, I expanded that cliff, and then I started building the second level of cliffs for my house to sit on top of. I made this shape with the cliffs with this kind of like hole in the middle where the incline will go. I expanded the original cliff and the new cliff as well, just to make everything large enough for my house to fit up here. Then I went and actually customized my house. This is what the final customization ended up looking like. Super cute, super pink. And for the incline that is gonna go up into our second level of cliffs, I decided to use the regular like default grass one, the natural ramp I think is what it's called. Then I time traveled so that my house would be customized and the incline would be built, and I talked to Tom Nook to go ahead and relocate my house to the top of all of this entrance build. But there was one small issue when I got up there, okay? So whenever I looked at my house originally, I thought that it would center itself with an incline, because as you can see, the little stairs going up to the front door, it looks like it's too wide, and the inclines are also too wide, so I thought that we could center those things together. But of course, this would not be an Animal Crossing video if we did not struggle on lining things up. Yeah, the house does not center with the incline, so I was already feeling a little bit defeated, a little bit sad at this point. I felt like my plans were falling apart right before my eyes, but I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna have it off-centered a little bit, because who cares? It's gonna be okay. It won't be that noticeable, and we can have this house up here anyway. So I just placed it off-centered. I time traveled to speed up the relocation process, and this is how everything was looking. Yeah, the house is off-centered. I don't know. I was trying so hard not to let it bother me, because my house does look really cute up there. It's really big, it's really grand. I even placed this little bow design code to lift my spirits at this point, but I was just not feeling it, and I could no longer lie to myself. I couldn't continue building this entrance with this off-centered building, so I moved my house out of the way back to where it was originally. And that's when I remembered that villager houses are actually 4 wide, so I could center a villager house with the incline and solve the entire issue. And Mary lives on my island. She's gonna be a permanent resident as well, so she is not gonna be leaving, and her house is so cute and so perfect. It's very pink, very dollhouse vibes, so I decided to move Mary to the entrance instead, and she is gonna be the doll that lives at the entrance, and her house will be the cute grand dollhouse that's a part of this build. I got her plot placed. I time traveled to the next day so her home would be in the spot, and y'all, this was already looking so much better. I love the way it looks. Her house is actually centered with the incline. I mean, I guess like her front door and the front steps are not very centered, but the house itself is centered, okay? And that was good enough for me. It was way better than having my house be off-centered. That would have driven me to absolute madness, so I'm really glad that I made this change early on instead of trying to live with it. Now I want to decorate the entrance like down below first, but before I get into that, I wanted to test out a few things up here next to Mary's house just to make sure that my plans and ideas were actually gonna work. My idea was to have 2 pink gazebos on either side of the house. That way there was still kind of like that grand effect from the view down below, because in our inspo pic, I feel like part of the reason this looks so good is because of the castle items and those statues and the trees that are up on the cliff, kind of making that beautiful view from when you're down below. Since I only had one small villager house, I feel like we needed a lot more, which is why I wanted to add these gazebos. I'm gonna come back later and add a lot more up here and put design codes down, but I just wanted to make sure that the actual items would fit and that they would look good from down below before I went any further with anything. So I placed these gazebos, I placed these wooden partition items, and also some garden wagons, and I went ahead and planted some trees trees as well as some shrubs. My island is going to be in cherry blossom season, but since I had to time travel a bunch to build the bridge, the inclines, and get Mary's house here, I had already time traveled out of the season. But don't worry, later in the video I'll go back into cherry blossom season so you can see what this looks like with the pink trees. I was just kind of testing out the main components of this build. I also added 2 street lamps down here because I wanted these to be a kind of a big part of the build as well. And then I looked out the view from down here on the bridge and it was looking beautiful so far. The gazebos were giving the effect that I wanted and the street lamps were really pulling it all together. Just like this layered view was coming together and I was so happy. But the street lamps being pink were a little bit too much, so I decided to trade those out for some white street lamps instead, which ended up looking so lovely. I'm really glad that I made this change because the white street lamps fit this area so much better. And it was at this point that I took a break from building because I decided that I wanted to change my island flag. If you watched the last episode of this series where I got to 3 stars, at the end of that video I asked you to vote on 4 different flag designs. I tallied up the votes by hand and flag number 3 ended up having 69 votes. Yes, 69 votes, and was the winner of the flag poll. Flag number 4 was a close runner-up with 50 votes, but y'all just really like the pastel vibes, and I agree. I think that this one is going to match the island so much better. If you want to see what the other flag options are, head to my last video and go look at those. But this is the design that we're going with. Say hello to Minnie's official flag. Anyways, now that we got that out of the way, let's get back into designing the entrance. Now that we had the base layout of our entrance, it was time to start adding all of the cute little tiny decorations and details that really bring this to life. First of all, I expanded the road pathway a little bit because I had just the smallest amount of it before. On the left side of the entrance, there wasn't very much room between the cliff that we just built and the beach, so I knew that I was gonna want my road pathway to go up here and kind of make a cute little walkway, so I just went ahead and did that. I'm not gonna decorate this path in this video, but we'll get around to it sometime. On the other side, I only expanded the road by like 3 blocks, and that was all of the road expanding that I was gonna do. Now I wanted to focus on decorating this area right at the entrance. Like I talked about before, I didn't want the entrance to open right into the bridge or right into the road, so I left this space of about 4 blocks. So I needed to figure out how to decorate this. I messed around with a lot of different pathway designs and I was not loving really anything that I was putting together until I laid out this little heart rug. I really loved the way that this looked. I ended up taking it away, but don't worry, I brought it back. I absolutely love this little dirt pathway that I downloaded that was created by Helena. It is so beautiful. I love the border with like the bricks and the pink flowers. It matches my island so well. I just could not decide for the life of me like how I wanted the pathway to look here. I ended up deciding on this cute little design where the dirt pathway is just peeking out from the road just a little bit, aligned with the staircases behind. Then I had my little heart rug centered with the entrance over here. Now I needed to figure out how do I make a nice little walkway coming from the airport to those little designs. I decided that wooden planks would be my best option. First I laid out these wooden planks which go with the little pathway, but I did not love the way that these were looking. The planks were just a little too chunky. They're a little too thick. Luckily, Helena came in clutch because she has made over 600 custom designs, I think. So naturally, she had some other plank options and I decided to download these. They have like a subtle pink tone to them and I thought that they were just like much more of the vibe I wanted. This is when I removed the heart rug too because I thought that it was the problem, but it was not the problem. After I added the planks, I added the heart pathway back in and this was looking so much better. I was loving this little design. If you don't know, I am very inspired by Scrapbook Island by Happy Place ACNH on Instagram. It is this arts and crafts island that I just cannot get enough of. You've probably seen it in my short videos, or if you were at my live stream, you probably heard me talking about it. I even forced y'all to go visit it with me during the live stream. It's this beautiful island that feels so like staged, but this one was a little bit too staged, you know? I want my island to still feel like a natural place. Not too much like a toy set, but still very very heavily inspired by this. Anyways, one of the things that I loved most about this island was the white picket fencing everywhere. I feel like it looks so good, so I wanted to incorporate some of that on my island too. So I added a little bit of fencing and some shrubs. I thought this was looking so cute. I loved the fencing, so I decided to add some more. And I also decided to add some dirt pathway here to plant some flowers on top of, so that we could have some little flower gardens here at the entrance. I thought that it would go really well with the grassy area and the fencing, kind of like a little entryway garden. I started with just a row of 3 flowers, but I did expand on this later. I just needed to figure out what I wanted to do with this little space right here that's in between the flowers and the pathways that we already made, and that's when I decided to pull out the hedge standees. On Scrapbook Island, the arts and crafts island that I'm very inspired by, they also used a lot of the standee items, and it just looked so good. I thought this was perfect for the dollhouse theme because they look like toys and like fake bushes. I don't know, I just feel like it matches the aesthetic so well. So I added 2 of the hedge standees, one with pink flowers and one without, and then I took 2 of these flower umbrellas, the petal parasol and the cherry blossom umbrella, and I placed them down and turned them around right behind the hedge standees. They look like giant fake flowers, which I thought was also very fitting for the theme, and it just filled this space so nicely and it matched the garden-y vibes that we had going. Of course, I repeated that on the other side because I did want to keep all of this symmetrical. I feel like having symmetry is really adding to that staged effect and making everything look very intentional and perfect. I added a few design codes and weeds to fill in the extra spaces, and this is when I decided to expand on our little flower gardens. I added 3 more spots for more flowers, and then I completed it with some more fencing and repeated on the other side. I also took this time to add some flowers behind our street lamps as well. I decided that I'm just going to be using mums on this island. They're my favorite flowers in the game, so I'm just going to use a combo of the white, green, and pink mums. I might add in some other flowers later as we continue decorating the island, but for now the plan is to only use mums. I don't know, I think it'll be a fun challenge. Something that I thought was missing from the little entryway garden that we had going was trees though, because I just feel like it looked really flat, and yeah, we needed some trees. But also the trees are kind of big and I feel like they would be blocking the layered view that we have. So I decided to plant some saplings and planned on turning those into baby trees. But before I time traveled and did that, I did place down some decorative items, including this pink mini cart that I customized with a very cute little design. It reminds me of the iconic pink Barbie car, so of course I had to add this. And on the other side, I decided to make a little staged family. I used the stroller, this dress mannequin, and also the small mannequin item. I did customize these with some custom designs so that they would fit the theme a little bit better. I love how this looks. It's a little cute fake family. I feel like this is so perfect for the dollhouse aesthetic. Let me know what you think of the little staged family and if I should keep them or if they are just a little bit too creepy. I don't know, I feel like they fit so well. Then I time traveled so that we could grow in the baby trees, and y'all, look at this. I feel like time traveling made such a difference because I changed the clock back a couple of hours as well so that it would be brighter, because I think we were like playing in sunset before this or something, and not only did the lighting make everything look better, but the baby trees added so much to our little entryway. Like, these look so perfect. I planted some peaches behind them so that they will stay baby trees forever. And y'all, just take in this view. It is so gorgeous. I love this little entrance so much. This is when I knew I was cooking and I was like, yeah, this entrance is gonna be like my favorite that I've ever built. Shout out to the original inspo pic, y'all. This inspo pic carried, like, please. Without this picture, we would have nothing. We would literally have nothing. We were pretty much done with the lower level of the entrance at this point. I just finished it off with a couple of more flowers and some butterfly models, and I scooted over our staged family a little bit. Now it was time to head up the inclines and start working on the upper levels of this build. Up here on the second level, I had already added these evergreen ash trees, which I planned on leaving there, and the cute little pink bow at the foot of the incline. Other than that, there was just a tiny space going between these 2 inclines, so I just made a cute little walkway. I added some fencing and some dirt pathway for more flowers. Then I connected that to the 3rd incline with some more of these wooden planks. And on either side of the incline, I added this little lace design code, as well as some Turkey Day garden stands with these potted lily plants on top. I thought that these looked so cute. I love this. I went ahead and added another square of the garden path at the top of this incline design right in front of Mary's house. It does bother me a little bit that it is slightly off-centered from her front door, but it's okay. I'm just gonna have to live with it. And then I started redoing this area up here because while I did have kind of like the base layout and design, we were missing custom designs and flowers, and I just wanted to add a lot more detail. So I went ahead and removed each gazebo and placed down some more of this garden pathway right below where the gazebos will go on top of. And I also decided to add some fencing to enclose Mary's yard. I added some back here behind these trees, and I added some going along the sides as well. This is when I ran out of flowers, so I had to go back to a treasure island to get more. And I ran into Junie, one of you, who said, "OMG, love your vids." Of course I had to say thank you. I was so like flabbergasted that I was recognized on a treasure island. Like, oh my gosh, hello. If you ever see me on a treasure island, please say hi. I love saying hi to y'all. Anyways, I grabbed some flowers and went back to my island. I saw a little preview of the flyover too on my way back, and it was looking so good. Once I got back, I added flowers to all the little dirt pathways that I had added. I don't know why, but this just makes the flowers look so much more like intentionally planted. It makes it look like a more structured garden rather than just flowers growing randomly. I also relocated some of the shrubs and planted some more, and I added some wooden plank designs going into the gazebo. And this was really the cherry on top for me. I feel like it made it look so good over here. It's like Mary's own little like secret gardens. I don't know, it's just so pretty. To finish off Mary's front yard, I added some cherry blossom umbrellas again behind these shrubs, as well as some garden lanterns on top of this little lace doily design, and some bunny day topiaries because I feel like these just fit the vibe so good. And everything of course was super symmetrical, which I love. There were a few empty spaces that were kind of bothering me. You guys know how I am. I like to cover every single space, which probably makes my islands a little bit laggy, but it's okay. So I added this ballet slipper design, and I placed this Moroccan footrest in front of Mary's window. And of course, I added a dolly on top of the footrest because this is a dollhouse island. We need to have some dolls. And that was everything. After that, we were done with the entrance. So now let me play the final walkthrough of the build. Look at how gorgeous this looks. It's so symmetrical and satisfying. I really like the just like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I think that the symmetry just makes it so perfect. I like how it's like very squared off as well. And I'm really excited to build out the rest of the island. I have no idea how I'm going to connect this to the rest of the island or what I'm gonna build like on the sides of this, but the entrance itself is done and I am super happy with the results. Like, this might be the best entrance I have ever built in Animal Crossing. Like, I am genuinely, oh, wrong button. I'm genuinely blown away by my own build right now. Like, this looks absolutely breathtaking. I am just so happy with how it turned out. I think that all of the custom designs, the cherry blossom season with like the pink trees and all the petals flying around really brings it together. I just love this so much. Like, oh my gosh, I couldn't decide if I wanted this island to feel like a city or like super natural, and I feel like I've done a really good balance of the two. We have like our city road, but then we also have lots of like garden and nature elements, which y'all know that's my favorite thing ever in Animal Crossing. Like, it's hard for me to build a city island because I just end up doing so much gardeny, naturey stuff. So I've got this really cute kind of entryway. It doesn't go directly into the road, but instead we have this little like heart blanket. So I feel like it's just greeting you with such a cute little moment here. I feel like it's perfect for this island. And then we've got the baby trees, and then we have some like really cool gardeny stuff, and it is perfectly symmetrical on either side here. The only difference is like these little design codes right here, some of the weeds, and then I've got a little green button on this side, and on the other side there's a little pink button. And if you don't know, pink and green are like my favorite colors. Not only are they my favorite colors, but they're my favorite color combo as well. They just look so pretty together. So I am absolutely loving this right now. Why do I feel like this island is gonna be a mix of what Lumi and Ladybug were? Like, this feels like Lumi and Ladybug if they had a baby, and I am just obsessed with that because Lumi and Ladybug were my favorite islands that I have ever built. I'm also so happy that I got the green airport because look at how good it fits with the island. It seriously matches so well. I'm so lucky. And then I also have the flag design, so exciting. And now let's get further into the entrance. I know I'm like not even moving from the actual entrance. I'm just so happy with it. I love staring at it. I'm gonna go off to this side and show you what it looks like from the bridge. I feel like this right here is such a good view of the entrance. Like, look at how cute my character looks doing the little slow walk across the bridge. So adorable. I'm so happy with this. I really wish that the bridge could be white and like match everything a little bit better, but at the same time I think it looks wonderful as is, and I'm very happy with it. We've got a little family on this side of the street. I have two of the mannequins. I customized them with some custom designs for like her dress, and then his little like t-shirt is a custom design, and then I got the stroller item because I thought it was so cute. I feel like it matches everything really well, and I just thought, why not have a little like staged family here? This is a dollhouse inspired island after all. Might as well have some unique little like staged areas. I feel like this is perfect. And then on this side there is a little car here. I did customize it with this little like design here on the side. I don't really know what it is. It's just like a little squiggly, and I think it elevated the car a lot. I feel like it made it look a lot cuter. And then we've got some street lamps on either side of the little river here with this really cute custom banner that's hanging from them. Super pretty, matches so well. I also, oh, sorry if you hear my cat meowing. Tundra, I'm recording a video. She thinks I'm talking to her, so she's like trying to talk back or she's telling me to be quiet because she's trying to take a nap. Anyways, we've got some little butterfly models on either side of the stairs. I think it's so cute. I love this little part so much. And we've got Mary's house and the gazebos in the background, of course, so let's head up there. You can go up the stairs, and we've got some more of this really cute gardeny pathway, the evergreen ash tree, more flowers planted on some dirt, and then we've got this cute little pink bow right at the foot of this incline. I love that so much. I don't know what I'm gonna do about these sides. I am leaving them empty for now because I don't know if I'm going to expand this cliff like and have more stuff up here, or what I'm gonna do. I might just cover this in more flowers, but we'll see about that. And then we have Mary's house, which I am so glad I ended up settling on putting Mary's house up here instead of my own house, because I don't know if y'all saw, but my house, it did not look good up here. It did not look good. I thought it would, but it didn't. So Mary is gonna be our doll who lives at the entrance, which I think is so cute. She's so perfect. And then we've got our gazebos on the sides. Everything is basically perfectly symmetrical except for a few things. Like, for example, we have this little dolly on this Moroccan footrest, I think is what that item is called. Then we've got like this little pedal pile and some custom designs, including the design that I had on the car. I just put it on the ground here. Some ballet slippers because Mary is a ballet Barbie. And then we've got our cute gazebo areas. It's very crammed in here, so you can't really move around all that much, but I've got some trees, some flowers, the white picket fencing closing in her yard. We've got the bunny day topiaries, which I feel like just make this look even more like gardeny and staged. I just love this so much. And then we've got like the little wooden partition item right here, and I chose the blue version of this because I thought it would be nice to add in some blues, and Mary's got a blue door, and yeah, I feel like we didn't have enough blue, and I think that it looks really cute here. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. We've got the garden wagons, the garden lanterns, very garden themed, very, very lush and pretty and cute. But yeah, that is the entire entrance so far. I don't know what I'm gonna have over in this direction, and I have no clue what I'm gonna have over in the other direction either. I did continue this pathway up in this way because I knew that that is definitely what I'm gonna have going on over here. I just don't know what I'm gonna put like in this area and on the beach over here. We're gonna have to figure that out. We also got the peninsula right here. For this island, I am doing something that I have never really done for any of my past islands, which is sharing my dream address during the entire build process. Typically, I wait wait until I finish the entire island before sharing my dream address so that you guys can only visit once it is in its most perfect state. But this time I decided that I'm going to update my dream address after every single episode or build. That way you can come and visit the island while it's a work in progress and you can see it come together as we go. I don't know, I thought that maybe you would like to see each build as we actually build them. So I went ahead and uploaded Mini Island to the Dream Suite, and now she has her very own dream address, which I will put on the screen. If you decide to visit the island, please take photos and tag me on any social media. You guys know I'm at New Horizons everywhere. I would love to see your pictures. I would love to see you on the island. And if I happen to forget to update the dream address after any of these episodes, please yell at me in the comments. And I hope that you enjoyed this first episode of Mini Island. If you did, be sure to subscribe and leave a like, leave a comment as well, and let me know your thoughts. And yeah, stay tuned for the coming episodes where we'll be designing the rest of this island. I'm gonna be taking you along with me to design the entire thing from start to finish, and this was the start, and I'm very happy with how it looks so far. I hope that you all enjoy it as much as I do. I am seriously in love with this entrance. A special thanks to our channel members, our little gyroids. I am very appreciative of your extra support. If you would like to join the gyroid squad, go ahead and press the join button below. Thank you again, everyone, for being here for this episode. I hope you all enjoyed. Bye!